Hello and welcome to Mastering Microsoft Excel video series. This is video number 31 where we're going to talk about two interesting formulas, choose rows and choose columns. These formulas are available in 365 version of Excel. Without much ado, let's get into the Excel screen and let's start exploring how to use these formulas in the right place and why these guys are the best choice compared to the normal extraction formulas. For this video, this is the Excel file I'm going to use. This is the data set which I'm going to work with. So first, choose columns. When I say from a selected array, you can say these are the columns you have to give it for me. So when I say these are the columns, we have to say the columns by the positions as numbers. So let's go ahead and show you one example here. So choose columns, and I'm going to go ahead and select this is my array, comma, then it's asking me the column number 1, column number 2, column number 3. So I want to see from this array, I want to see only the region, Q1 sales and Q2 sales. So Q1 sales region is available in the first column of my array, 1, comma. Once you extract the first column, get me the fourth column. That's where I have the Q1 sales, comma, fifth column. That's where I have my Q2 sales. So when I close the braces, hit enter, then I get it. So the first thing will come to your mind is why don't we simply copy and paste it? Remember, copy and paste will not give you the dynamicity. Later, if you change the values, it will not update here. Even some of the brains will think, why don't I do a copy paste it as a link? Now, when you copy paste it as a link, what happens if you add a new row? Will it be included? The option is no. But whereas if I convert this source into a table, even the new row will also be part of my output. So that is something I want to show you while we are going to do it here. Watch this. If I convert this into a table and click OK, now if you watch it, when I type test, it's already a part of my output, but this will not happen in your copy paste in your normal extraction function. When I say extraction function, some of the people will think that why don't we simply use a VLOOKUP. Now when I use VLOOKUP, what's my reference here? I don't have any reference to search. I cannot use a VLOOKUP here. So some of the brains will think, why don't we use index and match here? So index, absolutely agreed, we can select because it's an array and we can extract. Now the row number I have to give 1 and the column number I have to give 1, and this is the same thing. So watch here. I have to make this constant. Let me make it this constant and drag the formula down. Watch it, everywhere it is not. The reason why it is giving you always not, because these numbers will not change. It has to change in order to get the next immediate values. So my friend, index and match will not work through. But if you want to do the extractions more comfortably and more easily from an array, choose columns and choose rows is something really amazing. So all you got to do is select your array. That's your first input, comma. You don't even have to put the dollar signs because these are array functions. Your 365 version of Excel understands it automatically and it's going to give you the output. So now let me go ahead and check it out here. I want the first column, I want the fourth column, I want the fifth column, and there you go. We got it. Now likewise, I can take for this one. So let's say choose columns again, select the array, and here I want to get the first column, the product is the third column, and the total is in the sixth column. And watch it, from one array I can extract different, so I can use this for a different visual, this for a different calculations. All those are possible. And remember, if this is a table, these are completely dynamic. They will update itself automatically. Yeah. So now, like choose columns, you do have choose rows. So equal to choose rows, and the first thing is the array, which is my complete table, comma, which rows. So let's say, for example, I want to get the first row, the third row, and the sixth row. So these are the rows I'm asking from the selection. So those 3 rows will be returned to me as an answer, which you can see here. So from, let me hide this so that you can see those things comfortably here. So watch it. From this, we asked for the first row, so we got the first row. And we asked for the third row, and we asked for the sixth row. So those are 3 rows we got here. Okay, so choose columns really makes a big difference, but choose rows, people would say that, is there any other use case which we can think about? So let's take this small example which I'm going to throw you right now, just to start up your thought process. So let's say I want to take the first transaction of widget A and the last transaction of widget A. I want to see only the first transaction of widget A and the last transaction of widget A. Okay, so the product is widget A. We need the first transaction. We need the last transaction. Let's say you're not sure about where the widget A is present, because if you know the positions, you can extract based on the position. So I want to take the help of position finder formula inside the choose rows to get this kind of work done. So we want to get the first and the last transaction of widget A. Sometimes people would ask the first transaction of the customer, the latest transaction of the customer. Can you get it for me? So let's go ahead and say, we're not talking about one value. We're talking about entire row in a table. Okay, one value means absolutely you can use index and match and you can make it work. But even there, your match formula does not work in the way we were expecting, but your X match does the work in a different way. So I'm not going to deviate from there right now. So let's go here. We want to use choose rows, which is the array. This is the array which I want to extract it from, comma, which row number? So the first occurrence of the widget A. So I want to find out using the X match, because this gives me an option to search for widget A. So let's type widget A. Please search the widget. If you are not sure about what is match formula, I will produce or I will give you the link for the index and match formula video. Look into it, understand what's the role of match function, so you know what the match function does. Just to give you a quick input, the match function will always give you the position of a value in an array. Okay, but X match gives you much more lenience, much more privilege, that you can even design the direction of search, whether you want to search from top to bottom or bottom to top. You can have the directional changes options available. So I want to say, please search widget A, comma, in this array, comma, and when you're searching, search for the exact match of widget A, comma, but when you're searching, I want the first transaction of it. So why don't you search from first to last, which is 1. The option is 1. So that's going to give me, when I close the braces, and that's going to give me what? That's going to give me the first occurrence of the widget A, which is the topmost row we have here. Okay, but I also need the last occurrence of widget A. So I'm going to go to the choose rows formula, copy this, comma, I'm going to put one more X match, and here the only change I'm going to do is in the last argument, where the last argument I said, when you're searching the widget A, I said to search from the first to last, because the next row what I need is the last transaction of widget A. So when it is searching the widget A, this time it has to search from the bottom to the top. So I want to change the direction of search. So I want to say -1. So now when I hit enter, you could see the last transaction of widget A is the last row of our table. So it picked up the first transaction as well as the last transaction of our from our table. So that's what we are looking at. So choose rows and choose columns. They're really amazing if you put them into action in the respective places. That's what I'm going to I've shown you here what these guys can do for us. So I would request you to check it out, how these guys are responding when you have an array where you want to pick up only certain row or certain column for your visualization or for your calculation. So this formula is going to make your life simple. Instead of using an index and match and writing with the help of helper columns, all those things, this is much easier. All right, so let's meet up again with another interesting input from Microsoft Excel. Until then, take care of yourself. Signing off, Hariharan.